I actually don't really listen to close rates or cash collected anymore. You having an agenda of making a sale is the very thing getting in the way of you making a sale, ironically.
The biggest issue that most closers go through now is they try and sound too much like their coach. How many times have you heard like call recordings before you do the interviews and you're like, that person trained with Jeremy Minor, that person trained with Bill Walsh. Just like, who the fuck are you?
Yep.
Right? Like, let me hear who you are. At the moment, we're getting 500 applications every day and we're rejecting 97% of people.
Jesus.
Right? It's crazy, bro. So what I've done, originally we was just scoring every single intro video manually.
Ugh.
Right? Now we've managed, over like the last 8 months, we've managed to build like an AI scraper that goes through all the intro videos and then does the rejection for us.
Nice.
But still, like even like from the 500 videos we're getting a day, only 3% of them are good enough.
Really?
It's crazy.
That must have been fun to do manually. Why did you stop doing that?
Oh, because I've got better things to do, bro.
That must have been painful.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. So I don't want to mention the name of the coach, right? Because I got pretty annoyed yesterday. So I reached out to this sales coach and I was like, man, listen, I need a closer for the UK market. Shit, maybe giving it away.
For the beep market.
So I reached out to a coach and said, hey, I need a closer for market. Can you send me some applications? This is the job.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, cool. I've got the best person. Send me over his Loom video, bro. It's like on the Loom video, his background was shit. He was recording like vertical. The sounds were shit. And I sent him back a message. I was like, bro, are you serious? Like, how can you send me someone that's incredibly qualified and you haven't shown them how to do an intro video? Yeah. He turns around. He was like, well, I've never had a problem to land the job. And I'm like,
you're not applying.
I'm like seriously, like we live in a trust recession now. Like, how can you stand out? Again, we get 500 applications a day.
Yeah.
So, man, it just drives me insane. And what drives me insane is, a lot of things are driving me insane at the moment, bro.
I could tell.
But
get you off your chat. You okay? Do you need a tissue? Hold on.
Yeah. I need to meditate for a second.
Get it off. You should get it out, mate. This is cathartic.
Yes. But I think there's maybe one or two coaches out there that actually teach their students how to prepare for not just interviews, but how to prepare for a pre-interview, how to record videos.
Yeah.
It's mental. Like, I think the quality of sales reps now are horrible.
Yep.
And I know like you run a lot of sales teams.
Yep.
What do you look for when like someone's applying for a role? Like, what's the first thing that you check?
I honestly, I'll watch a couple of seconds. If I get a Loom video, I will watch a couple seconds. No more. Yeah. And there's something about a good intro video that just grabs you immediately. Facts. So it will be like visually like the hook, right? The visual hook of the background, horizontal, easy on the eye. But then there'll be just an energy of common sense. Just call it common sense, which is not common practice, unfortunately.
Let me just double click on that.
Go on then.
Can you teach common sense? If you can, bro, you need to start a course.
Yeah. How could we package common sense?
How can you package common sense?
Yeah.
Because I see some coaches that they coach EQ.
Yeah.
Right? But like EQ and common sense is two separate things.
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure it's like a skill that you can break down and you can teach, behaviorally, etc. I don't know how to yet, honestly. I just look for it because it's not my job to teach it, right?
No.
So, but it has something to do with just an air of awareness of what is it that I am presenting and what am I trying to get out of this interaction, which is a Loom video. Yeah. And what is the purpose of the Loom video is to introduce myself. And how do I do that and make a good impression? Well, I think of it through the eyes of the person viewing it as opposed to my eyes doing it. And so I think if you can just take that perspective, it'll not only serve you well in a Loom video, but what is the other scenario in which that serves you well? Sales. If I just don't look through it through the eyes of my own agenda, I actually did some training with some guys today who was mentioned about getting frustrated when some people hop on just looking for information and they just have a series of questions that they have. And he felt frustration around that. And it's like, yeah, because you've got your selling process and they've got their buying process. And their buying process you feel is getting in the way of your selling process.
Interesting.
And that's the conflict that you're feeling, is that you're now feeling frustrated because they're not playing ball and they're not aligning themselves with your agenda, but your selfish agenda is the very thing that's getting in the way of you getting what you want, which is them fulfilling on their agenda.
So go into that again. So
I don't know what I just said.
And I don't remember what you said. It wasn't that important.
Yeah.
So
let's
separate that, right? So you have the seller mindset, but the buyer's mindset.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people talk about like sales mindset.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of the first times in a long time someone mentions buyer's mindset and how not to judge.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, they're coming on. I mean, you're coming on the call with your process, your agenda, your questions, the way you want it to flow. They don't know the fucking script. They haven't trained for this moment. You have, right? But what's the purpose of you training for this moment? It's for you to fulfill on your selfish agenda, which is to make a sale. Now, is that on their agenda? Fucking no, it's not. That's why you're feeling a little bit of frustration, a little bit of conflict, a little bit of combativeness, because they're not towing the line on your agenda. And so you having an agenda of making a sale is the very thing getting in the way of you making a sale, ironically. Now, if we were to bring that back into a Loom video or an intro video, you have an agenda of landing a role. Now, just think of the wording around landing a role. It's something that you're out to get. And yet the person that's hiring isn't looking for someone who's coming to get something. They're looking for someone who's coming to give something. So if you come at it through the lens of not the person making the video, but if you make the video through the lens of the person watching the video, you'll probably have a much higher success by aligning with their agenda as opposed to yours.
Bro, that's it. Thank you very much.
My work here is done.
Yeah. That's the missing piece. That's exactly it.
Yep.
I think I'm going to use that every time someone applies. I'm just going to use that clip. Hey, watch what Adam just said. Because
what he said.
Yeah. That one. It's so true because like people think, okay, well, I'm going to share my sales experience. I'm going to share numbers. Yeah, but is that what people want to see? They want to see you. Like you got to have in your mind, okay, I'm applying for a role. What does the business owner or that sales manager need to see in order for me to land that role? Yeah. And the easy thing is, the first thing they look at is, does my frame represent that brand? Does my frame represent the client I'm about to sell for? Yeah. Right? People don't think, should I remove my underwear off my bed? I've got some, I've got my vibrator on the side of the bed. Should I hide that or should that add? Like, seriously.
Yeah. And of course, like there's levels of awareness and this, that, and the other. And I'm sure some of us need to learn more skills than others, and that's fine. I do remember, like early on in my journey, I reached out to. It was the very first time that I was kind of applying for different roles or trying to land a new role. So it was a very new process for me. And my old mentor, Bill, was actually helping me at the time with it. I mentioned on a podcast here the other day that he helped me figure out like what a close rate is. I didn't know what a close rate was. And he told me how to go, and I went and figured it out.
Close the door?
Yeah. I was like, what is that? And he explained to me, and then I went and did it. And then I came back with like, it was exactly 50%. And I was like, is that good? I had no idea, right? And so he told me to reach out into JD Daly's community as well. Shout out to JD Daly. And he had a guy working with him at the time. I forget his name now. Probably not too relevant. But I reached out and probably made all the rookie mistakes that most people will make. I'm looking for a role. Do you know of any opportunities? And he kind of asked like, what kind of role are you looking for? And I didn't really care at the time because I hadn't really experienced enough to know that I had a preference. And I just basically said any, and he kind of went off on me a little. He tried to be constructive, but he also then made a post about, not without mentioning me, you guys need to know more. What was his name? I forget his name.
Someone did a post.
The guy I spoke to then made a post about,
It's not the guy that we always talk about.
I forget his name now. But anyway, so that felt a little bit weird, obviously, at the time. I was like, it's a big deal, dude. Do you know what I mean? So it's just different perspectives and different stages. And I think something that we also forget is the nature of process. Like we're all going through a process of our own, and at different times and different stages we learn different things and realize different things. Some of us at some point need to, you know, at 38 years of age, need to think that we might need to remove our underwear from the bed, right? Like, sure, you know, whatever. You're just starting from a little bit further back than others maybe. But if we can adopt the mindset of what is the thing that I want? Okay, well, if I can I put that aside and help the person on the other side of the table get what they want in an effort to get what I want as a byproduct? That typically yields greater results than just going after the selfish thing that I want.
Let me ask you this, right? Because you've hired hundreds and hundreds of closers.
Mm-hmm.
What about those newer closers, right? The closers that have no real experience on the phones, but they're trying to land roles. They've invested into like a beautiful frame. They've got the mic. They've got the camera.
Yeah.
They sound good. They look confident. Do you give those guys a chance?
Yeah, I have done.
Okay.
I have done.
What do you look for?
Little bit of craziness.
Yep.
Goes a long way.
Yep. It's craziness can translate into confidence.
Exactly. Yeah. A little bit of delusional. I'm gonna be like, no, so there's a very subtle difference between.
Are you describing us?
Yeah. Just dashing good looks, bags of charisma.
There you go.
Or Riz, they say now, apparently.
You got Riz, bro.
Yeah. So, but there's a subtle difference between, it's delusional confidence in I'm going to be great than I am great. That's a subtle distinction. The I am great and I don't really have enough to, well, somebody that needs to kind of portray that image probably isn't it, because you just would if you were, right? Best way to have big dick energy is to have a big dick. Let's put like, right? I wouldn't know. I've heard. I've read books about it.
Apparently.
So they say.
Love that.
But somebody's got that delusional confidence of like, I might not be there yet, but I fucking will be. And it doesn't matter what I got to do. I'll do it. That I can work with.
Okay.
But I am the shit without a solid track, or without like, it's just even needing to portray or say that is that it's too late then.
I had an application that came in the other day, and it went like this. He was like, bro, I'm the best fucking close you're ever going to meet. Yep. I'm a savage. Give me a job and I'm going to smash it.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck off. Reject. I think there's a difference between like overconfident and just being a wanker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had a little bit of fun with that one time. I don't normally indulge myself with this kind of stuff, but I did once, and I don't know why. But it was somebody that reached out and said, I will be your next number one closer on the offer that you're managing, guaranteed. And I said,
we get that every day.
I said, yeah. And I said, what are the terms of the guarantee?
Can I use that? I'm using
and he
that.
said, yeah. And he said, what do you mean? I said, okay. And if you're not, what happens?
Oh, I'm going to use it.
And he said, well, I will be. I was like, okay, well, you pay for the leads if you don't? Like, what do I get in return if you're not? Like, this is a win-win situation. This is a win-lose situation. Win for you, lose for me. Like, I was having a little bit of fun with it. I wasn't going to hire him anyway, but I just thought it was fun.
I just wanted to take his money.
Yeah. What are the terms of the guarantee?
Yeah.
What happens if you're not?
Right. That's mental.
Yeah. It was good fun. I'll be honest, having hired a lot of people, this will be something that I think might blow a lot of closers' minds. I actually don't really listen to close rates or cash collected anymore.
Same.
And it's because you can't, it depends wildly on the offer and the quality of the marketing, on the price point of the offer. And so it's really unindicative. It's only indicative in relation to others on that offer, or an offer of, exactly the same, which it doesn't exist. Right. So I think you just spoke to our good buddy, Adrian. Right, worked with an offer, phenomenal offer, helping execs and coaches give up alcohol. Super high ticket. It's a coaching offer done with your coaching, but it's super high ticket. 17.5 for 90 days of coaching, right? And the application and filtration process was insane. So they had very qualified prospects. Their average close rate was always 40 to 50%. But then you might speak to someone who's equal skill set on an offer that's got a, close rate of 20 to 25%. Somebody's closing at 30% on cold traffic. That's outstanding performance. Seems less than this other guy who's getting, very, very highly qualified people to speak to.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for me to discern, okay, you've been on this offer for 6 months and you've averaged 40% close rate.
Mm-hmm.
You could be shit. Everybody else could be closing at 75, 80%. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't really... If it were me, I would mention it in a Loom video and I would say, I don't want to bore you with the numbers. I can give you context if you would like, but my numbers were this. Put that over there a second, because obviously there's, you can't compare apples to apples. I would show that amount of intelligence or intellect to say, these are my numbers, because that's something that we can measure in sales. But just, I'm not going to try and pretend. I'm not going to pretend that defines me as a closer.
What about when you've hired someone, right? So you've hired them, you've given them a script that works or a framework that works on the offer, and they turn around and they say, "No, I'm not doing it. I've already invested into XYZ coach. I'm going to use my own script." Like, what's your take on that?
I typically will say to people, I don't really care what you say on the call as long as they say yes to you. However,
if it doesn't work,
if it doesn't work, I mean, there is something that already works. Just do that and iterate off of that. Yeah. And then if there's your own flavor that you want to bring into this, I mean, typically, if I'm working on an offer and I know what works, then it works. So I haven't really had too much of an issue with that so far. Exactly. But it might be a little bit of a lack of experience to say, I have a process and I think it might be better. Like, that typically will come from somebody who's a little bit less experienced. Unfortunately, it sounds like a very advanced thing to say. It's actually not.
Yeah.
It's actually not. We were talking about this yesterday. So do you know that meme where it's kind of like a bell curve, and then you got like the guy over here who's like all goggly eyed, like a beginner, doesn't know anything. And he's like, just eat protein, lift weights, and sleep well. And then you got the guy in the middle who's like all nerded out. It's all peptides and infrared sauna and this and that. And then they get over the curve, and it's like the Jedi with the hood up with the just eat protein, lift weights, and sleep well. You see that in sales where there's an overcomplication in the middle. And there's a big chunk, that's the bell curve, right? That's the majority of closers that go from, I don't know, shit, let me just turn up and fucking have a good time because this is insane. Like, I can make money on my laptop. I'm so happy. Yeah. Right? I'm just grateful to be here. To these leads are suck, and I gotta do all this training and do all this tonality and frameworks and scripting, and this guy's way better than this guy. As if, oh God, don't get me started on that. And then over the other side, it's like, I'll just do what works. And it's probably just show up with conviction, be a good person, and
be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? And you can lay that over. We were talking about salsa dancing actually with that.
How's yours going?
I'm doing some physio in prepreration.
Okay. You've been doing that for the last 2 years. Yeah.
I've been prepping. Yeah. I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. You're just going back on what you just said.
Yeah.
Too much prepping, bro.
Yeah. A little bit. But yeah, it's I don't have an issue if somebody wants to do something that they feel is going to be better. That's fine, but it probably won't, because if it would, we'd be doing it.
Yeah. 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 No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we spoke about a podcast that we want to create called Roast the Closers.
Yes.
Right? We've been running it like once every month virtually.
Yeah.
But what should we do? Should we do something like this where we pull up our laptop and people send in information and be like, oh, can you roast my intro video? Can you roast the start of my conversation, the way that I objection handle? Like, I think everyone will fucking love that.
I think so too.
Right? Because it's not just roasting. It's like, okay, well, let's show you exactly what not to do.
Yeah. And
then we mix it with education.
Yes.
We keep talking about it. We should do it.
I think that would be amazing.
We should do it.
That'd be a lot of fun.
What do you reckon the best? How can we really hurt people's feelings? I mean, no. So let me. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. How can we educate people without? No, I don't know. I want to hurt people's feelings. How do I say this nice where people won't judge me?
There is no way.
No, it's great because a lot of people, they think they're right. They're like, oh yeah, but my coach told me to do it this way, so it should work.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest issue that most closers go through now is they try and sound too much like their coach.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how many times have you heard like call recordings before you do the interviews, and you're like, that person trained with, Jeremy Minor. That person trained with Bill Walsh. Just like, who the fuck are you?
Yep.
Right? Like, let me hear who you are. And it goes back into what we said. Have conversations. Like, yes, you need to have the scripts and the frameworks to be able to have the conversations. Like, you need to go through that.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like any coaches are teaching them how to become their true, authentic self. Right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue.
Correct. And it's tricky, isn't it? Because obviously, I think if we back up a little bit, where I think it might stem from is trainers and coaches who will teach their way as the way.
Absolutely.
And I don't think anybody should ever confuse a way with the way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you teach your way as the way, well, it would stand to reason that you should use this choice of words because they worked for me. Therefore, in my worldview, those are the only words that work. Yeah. So you should only use these words, even if they don't feel natural to you. And I think it takes a high level of awareness and skill to be able to teach what's worked for you as a principle. That's tough. That's really hard.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I did these things, but what was it about the things that I did that worked within the context of what I was selling and doing and learning at the time? Mm-hmm. That's super hard. That's a lot of effort.
And then you get these closers that are following these analogies and they turn around and they're like, what the fuck did I just say?
Yeah.
And then the client's looking at them
heavy is the crown that on the head that wears it.
I just did a podcast before and the guy said the same thing. He was like, I had a closer and he pulled out this heavy is the head that wears the crown because this closer heard it from his coach. And I asked him, like, do you know what it means? He was like, no. I just got told to say it.
Yeah. You see it, man. You'll open up a call and they're like, yeah, it looks like you're booked into possibly. I was like, oh, here we go. And then there'll be, so possibly is obviously NEPQ in general. Then like and kinda. If they try and throw out 7 or 8 like and kinda in every question, it's a Matt Ryder.
Yeah.
They're trying to sound like Matt Ryder. And then what's like 9.9 times out of 9, the prospect will say, can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
It's just overloading it with
what are you saying?
So kind of like in your process. It's like you're just trying to sound like Matt, but you're not Matt. And so it will never work like Matt. It's hard and it's something that we've probably got to go through to get through to the other side. I hope people just recognize this and speed that process up pretty quickly because it's okay to replicate before you iterate.
Yeah.
But yeah, remember to be yourself as well. Yeah, you're fine the way you are.
I spoke in our community yesterday. I got a bit vulnerable. I was getting a bit comfortable with the students in there. And I said to them, guys, I can't read and write properly.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to call me, I can't read and write properly. I had to leave school at the age of 15 because I just wasn't getting any better. And I had a very different way of learning things.
Yeah.
And yes, it took me a lot longer to learn, but now that I figured out a different way to learn, I teach in a different way as well. So there's a lot of people that reached out to me saying, oh my God, like the way you actually taught and got us to understand what we're trying to do throughout the conversations. No one's ever spoken to me like that before. Thank you for being vulnerable. And then all of a sudden I had like messages saying, oh yeah, I'm dyslexic. I can't read and write properly. I have learning difficulties. And I think there's a bunch of idiots out there, right? Like me, like there's and it's okay.
Yeah, the long-term effects of concussion are real.
Yeah, smoking too much weed when you're younger. But no, it's great that people are now coming out and saying that they do have these learning difficulties because it's okay.
Yeah,
like just because it took me a bit longer to understand things didn't stop me for being one of the best closers in the industry or for becoming a great coach or building my own business.
Yeah.
Was it harder? Did I have to work harder than most people? Yes.
Sure.
But understand that there are different ways. There's not just one way. And this is what coaches are trying to install in you. It's like, hey, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
Well, so the question I want to kind of ask is, if someone's never invested into a coach or they've invested and it didn't work and they're looking for another coach, what would you recommend that closer or setter to look for in that coach before pulling the trigger?
Ooh, very good question. So I'll first quickly say that I think you dyslexics, I mean, obviously some of the best minds in the world are dyslexics.
Yeah.
You guys have such a gift that we don't have, that was portrayed as a weakness because of the schooling system, which portrays reading and writing as success. But you guys are so fucking good at shit that we're not. It's insane. Like, you are head and shoulders above us in terms of your visual problem solving, and which is the way you teach. If I know you well enough now, it's incredibly visual. It's very descriptive and picturesque, which is how our minds work. If I say Paris to you, you don't see P-A. Well, you fucking couldn't, could you? So
How do you spell Paris?
Never met the bloke. But you see an Eiffel Tower, don't you?
Yeah.
So do I, and I can read and write. So that's the way our minds work anyway. It's just that you've been fed a story for the most formative years of your lives, namely childhood into adulthood, that you're not good at something. It's fucking madness. Like, I haven't ever planned on having kids, but if I did have kids, I'd really struggle to send them to a school, any school.
Yeah.
I probably want to do it myself at home, honestly, like, for those kind of reasons. So I just throw that out there. And then back to your question of what do I suggest somebody look for in a coach or a trainer? It's really tough. Because a lot of people go on like alignment with the coach. I'm very fortunate. I've always been able to look past anybody that I don't necessarily like that much. But if I get their teaching and their message, I can take it and not really be bothered. Some people like Bill, he's a very polarizing character. Some people are like, they would never learn from Bill, whereas they could really benefit from what he has to teach, right? But just because of the way he is.
If we talk about Bill, so we were both, friends with him. We went through his the objection box. You worked with him directly.
Yeah.
It's not my style.
Sure.
But there was one thing that he said to me that was worth all the investment.
There you go.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
So I think people go in and they start saying, oh no, it didn't really work for me. Okay, but what did? Like I've spent almost $500,000 in coaching, and it's like, they didn't all give me the success that I needed, but I took one thing away from each person that allowed me to get to where I am.
Correct. So I think that would be the advice that I have is Alex Hormozi describes this very well in terms of business skills. And we can do this in within the skill of sales as well. Now, if sales is one of the skills in building the bridge of business that gets the dollars to walk from one side to the other, as he describes it, I think in sales you can correlate that well. And most sales trainers will sell you a brick and tell you it's the whole bridge. So they will be able to teach you a specific part of sales that is very helpful, necessary, and useful for the points of your journey where you're at and your skill deficiency in that moment. And somebody else will be able to bridge another gap, and somebody else will be able to teach you something else. And this guy will teach you maybe, more self-mastery, and this guy will teach you more word tracks, and this guy will teach you about how to sell on identity, and this guy might be able to teach you how to sell to higher educated prospects. And these are all, I liken it to fitness, to where each one of those trainers will typically try and tell you that their thing is like the only thing that you need, which in the fitness world would be like me saying, Joel, all you need is a kettlebell. All that other bollocks, barbells and running and rowing, you don't need that. You just need a kettlebell. That's literally all you need. That's what I did. That's what I used, and I'm jacked. And they'll sell you the brick, one of the bricks as the whole bridge. It's not. It's a brick. It's part of. And the guy that's able in the fitness realm to be able to use the kettlebell and the dumbbell and the barbell and the bicycle and the running machine and the Pilates and the yoga is probably going to have a much higher all-round skill set than the guy that limits himself to the kettlebell and shits on the barbell and the dumbbell guys. So I think what I would look for in a coach is anything that helps you in that moment. Alignment certainly with the kind of avatar and prospect that you sell to, because there are different this is the problem, is that they'll all tell you that you can, if you learn from them, you can sell ice to an Eskimo, and you'll be able to sell to anyone. It's rarely true. I don't know how to get over. I don't have. Just ask me, mate. I'll tell you.
Yeah, no,
just hit me up on Facebook. I'll tell you.
I invested into a sales coach. I'm not going to say his name because he just posts every time someone mentions his name.
Right. Yeah.
Great posts. I love them. I love reading them. But I invested into him because I was selling B2B. And he was like, yeah, I've sold B2B in the past. Like, we teach B2B. I jumped in and it was all B2C and nothing worked. Right. In fact, like, my closure rate went from like 46 down to like 26%.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this not working?
Yeah.
So it's making sure that, and this is what I always say to closers asking me that question, is like, hey, who should I invest my money into? It's like, what do you want to sell?
Yeah.
Right? What niche? Is it B2C, B2B? And then has that coach sold in that industry before, and were they successful? Do you align with their method? And do they have, are they living the life that you want?
Yeah, there's that as well.
There's that.
Yeah.
But then the thing that I'm not sure about at the moment, and that's what I ask you, is you've got these 20-year-old sales coaches coaching other new closers, and they haven't sold more than $500,000 in sales. But they have the lifestyle, or they pretend to have the lifestyle that they want. So then should these like 19, 20, 21-year-olds be invested into these 20-year-old coaches?
Yeah.
Or is that a hazard? It's
So I have very differing views on this. And it's funny, we were chatting just here on the podcast the other day about this. I have slightly different views. I personally think that the 21-year-old who has left the matrix or the rat race, or whatever they want to call it, and has got into remote sales and has landed their first role and has made their first sale online and has earned their first commission checks and has made $500,000 in sales, knows an awful lot more than the guy that hasn't yet done it. So to that person, I genuinely don't have an issue of them teaching others what they've learned. Now, the caveat is to be truthful and honest and okay with teaching what it is that you've done and the way that you achieved it, without portraying that as being the ultimate everything. This is my story. This is what I achieved, and I can show you how I did it. Yeah. And I'm happy to help you for a fee. Yeah. I've got no issue with that. Mm-hmm. If the lifestyle is truthful, and it's not, depicted or portrayed in a way that sort of tries to put it in a different light than it actually is.
As in, like, they went to Dubai and they rented a Lamborghini for like 30 minutes because they couldn't do it for a whole day. So
if you try and pretend that you bought the Lamborghini, I've got an issue with that. Yeah. If you just say I fucking rented it and it was boss, I've rented supercars. Yeah. I fucking loved it. It was great. I wouldn't pretend that I ever bought one, right? So if you're able to manage to do that and be truthful to that, I think number one, you'll attract a lot more people into your world because they'll vibrate with the frequency of truth that you're putting out. I really genuinely do. Then, to somebody who's closed, $5 million in sales or $100 million or whatever the fuck they say they're doing these days, that I know that there's a lot of people that feel frustration around people who have lower numbers than them, or have been in sales less time, or are younger than them, teaching others. I don't have an issue with it, because you don't have to finish the book to teach your last chapter to the next guy. And also, the guy who's further ahead, who's closed 5 million in sales, well, the guy who's closed $200 million in sales, isn't he just shitting on you anyway and saying, who the fuck does this guy think he is, teaching people how to sell? Isn't the billionaire thinking that about that guy? Probably not, because the higher up you go, the less the fuck they give, right? But you see my point, right? Like, what is the age and what is the number and what is the point at which you're now suddenly allowed to, get your license to sell, like, or to teach or coach? It doesn't exist yet, and it probably shouldn't. Yeah. And ultimately, if we all enjoy a capitalistic society, we'll let capitalism do its thing. If they're good, they'll stay, and if they're shit, they'll go.
I agree 100% with that.
Yeah.
And in fact, in our community, what we're teaching is like, hey, listen, at the end of the day, the best way to learn is by teaching others.
100%.
Right? So if you've learned something, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn around and be like, okay, Adam, now you're the coach, teach us. right?
Love it.
Because if you look at the learning pyramid, right? And guys, if you're listening to this, go ahead. I'll try and put this on the screen, but learning pyramid, go have a look. You learn the most by teaching others.
Yeah.
You retain 90% of information when you teach others.
Oh, wow. Okay.
90%.
Yeah.
Right. If you read something that's only 5%,
yeah,
then it's like kind of lectures 10%, and then it's audio, and it keeps going up 90%. So
not surprised.
For those who actually teach, the first thing they want to do, they don't want to look stupid, right? Yeah. They need to really understand it. They need to be able to embody it, to be able to teach it to others, for someone else to be inspired.
Yeah.
So if these young kids are actually doing a great job inspiring and making sense, happy days. Like, that's the best way. And then they just get better and better and better because they're teaching.
Yeah.
So
the challenge that they have is keeping the perspective of, this is what I've achieved so far.
Good point.
There is more to achieve, and I'm on that path too. I can only teach you what I've achieved in my realm so far and the way that I did it. If you can keep that perspective, it's when you conflate what I've done with everything that is to do. That's where I think people sometimes run into a little bit of trouble. It might go to their head or whatever we want to call it. But again, that's part of the human experience. It's part of the capitalistic society we live in. If what goes up must come down, right? If they're good, they'll last. If they're not, they won't.
I want to quickly flip this over to you, because we've had some of our best closers have been coached by you, right? And it's interesting because when I speak to them, I'm like, okay, so how did it go with Adam? Oh, it was absolutely incredible. But like, he didn't teach me sales as such, right? Yeah. But yet my close rates got so much better, and I'm happier and I'm more confident, and like everything's just more beautiful. What the fuck are you teaching? Right? I'm genuinely interested because I know most people may not know, but like I want you to come in. I want you to teach some classes in the community.
Yeah.
You got so much value. I just still don't know what you do, right? I don't know if you want to give it away, or if there's like a method or... Yeah,
I don't know either. I had to think about this because I have coached a lot of guys now, and it started with, the first one like literally just hit me up and asked me like, can I pay you for you to teach me? And he wanted to get into sales management. I was like, I can try. Yeah. Right?
Here's my link.
Yeah. And he now runs a small agency. He manages 2 or 3 different offers, one of which recently hit $1.5 million in cash, and has done for the last 3 months. He's doing super well with it. Like, we got him from closing into, so there's that. And then there's other guys like our good friend Sammy Bizzle. We worked together for a good whole year. He was a 7 to 10K per month closer, really actually considering whether he wanted to leave sales full stop. Really hesitant to look for new offers because he had a really bad experience, kind of in a bit of a shell. Managed to get him onto a new offer, and he went on to make no less than 30 grand made like over $400,000 the following year. But the common thread, because I was like, but we talked about sales maybe like for a call and a half of a year of working together. The common thread that I've seen with all of them is that I've been able to help them enjoy sales again. And that's something I'm very, very proud of. It's not a great marketing. Let's have fun, guys.
Happy.
Yeah, it's not a hard sell, but I do think that there are a lot of closers out there who would at least relate to, if not the goal of I wish I could enjoy sales again. It's the closer that's out there that's on Zoom at the top of the hour, hoping and praying that the prospect doesn't show up into the call.
Yeah.
When you're in a position like that, that's the guy I can help. I know I can help that person. And I don't really have a set process. No, I do know that there are reasons for general human suffering, and they apply and are magnified in sales because of the sort of the mirror that we have of the human interaction that we have on a day-to-day basis. Plus, throw in the mix attachment to external circumstances, which trigger the human ego side of us, like money, like status, like leaderboards. And I know that that's the source of most general human suffering, and I'm able to help people to detach and disidentify from that, and be able to reattach and re-identify to things that serve them better. And as a byproduct, their sales go through the roof, but they do it in a way that they're enjoying it. They don't. I like anybody that tries to tell me like I wanna work with you so I can lock in. I'm not your guy, bro. Yeah. I'm not your guy. Like I'll help you make more money and enjoy it, and along the way. But if you just want to lock in and isolate yourself, and if that's what you want, I don't think that's what you want though. I think you think that you have to want that to get what you actually want, which is peace, and you believe that only comes through suffering.
Nice.
So I don't buy into that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Brother, I got to run.
Yeah. This has been good. Short and sharp.
Sure.
Yeah. Not enough time for us to argue.
No, that'll be offline.
You cunt.
That'll be offline. How can people find you?
Instagram, Adam_Paul_Taylor.
Cool.
Facebook, Adam Paul Taylor, and then YouTube, Adam_Paul_Taylor as well, I think. I've tried to keep it pretty consistent across all platforms. And hopefully soon in the Nomadic Closer community as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, that'll be a good place.
I actually for a minute thought you was going to give your home address. Like,
I thought about it. Yeah. Apartamento 412. I thought about it for a second.
I love you lots, dude.
Love you too, man. It's been good.
Cheers, dude.